Good evening, everyone. My name is Christopher Topol, and I am here to go over what it's like to be a game designer in the Bachelor's Degree program at FullSail University. FullSail University is different than most colleges that you might find in the United States or anywhere else in the world for that matter. Their degree programs are significantly faster to obtain than most other colleges. Their associate's program you can usually get within a year. Bachelor's degree you can get from 2 to 2.5 years depending on if you're on campus or if you're online. And their master's degree programs, of course depending on the program itself, are usually only 1 year depending on if you have a bachelor's degree in that particular field. So I decided to get my game design degree mostly because I'm 31 going on 32. I went to, normal public schooling, and I graduated in 2007, and I promised that I'd never go back to school, just as most teenagers do. From then on, I worked at Walmart, and that's all I ever worked at. I been working for Walmart for over 12 years now, and I'm not just some cashier or anything. I work at a distribution center in Gas City, Indiana, and it's very hard labor work. I pick up 50-pound boxes every day, and after doing that for 8 years, it starts to wear on you. Before I did that, I was an electronics associate, and I also did unloading work. So yes, very not exhilarating on the whole resume. I'm great with customer service, and I know how to stack really well, but other than that, I knew that I wouldn't be able to do anything more extravagant than that unless I got a college degree in something and proved that I had the intelligence to not just do menial labor, but the ability to do something that I actually enjoy. And that was really hard for me to decide what that would be, because I'm not one of those people that wakes up one morning and knows what they want to be for the rest of their lives. If there's anything that I want to do, I want to do everything. I don't want to be a police officer, a firefighter, a nurse, or a doctor, or an army person, a soldier. I want to do everything. I want everything under my belt. I want to experience as much as this life can possibly give me. And it's kind of hard for me to establish a connection to one thing knowing that I'm going to be doing that for the majority of my life. I'd much rather just, be known for the guy that traveled around the world and experienced as much as life could give him. So, the one thing that I knew that I always got happiness out of was playing video games or learning stories about different, characters saving the world, saving the princess, saving, the universe, whatever, you name it. Being a mercenary of sorts. And I always established that connection through games like Legend of Zelda, Spyro, Final Fantasy VII, Legend of Dragoon. I mean, just multiple ones. They all filled me with inspiration and joy, and the feeling like I could do something like this somewhere in the future. And I do realize that there aren't monsters in the world that I can go and take down and save the kingdom, but no, I knew that I could at least make video games, or I can make a presentation of stories to inspire others. And that's something that I could see myself doing, for a long time. And something that I could be proud of. So I looked up the entertainment and technology colleges around, the places that I lived in, and I couldn't find any. And then I found FullSail on Facebook. Actually, I was just scrolling, going through you know, a typical day of staring at my phone, and then I saw that, and I'm like, would you like to become a game designer? Would you like to make video games? And I was like, sure. One of the few days that you caught me off guard, and I was like, sure. So I talked to, you know, student liaisons, and they fit me in with a program that they thought particularly fit my interests, and I decided to say yes instead of no, and decided to follow through with it full gear because I needed something to, you know, busy my mind up, because I was going through a particularly hard time during that time, and I needed some hope that my life was going somewhere, that, you know, when I reach the end of my days, I can say I did my best, and, you know, I made something of my life. So I started FullSail, and just to gain a little more inspiration, I watched a couple of YouTube videos. One of them in particular, his name is Blake Taylor. I watched his video that's called "What It's Like to Be a Game Design Student at FullSail Online." And I had some reservations with FullSail still, and before I actually said yes, I watched his video to see what it would actually be like and what I could expect. And he really set a lot of stresses down to the floor that I had, and reassured me that I had what it took to be able to do something like this. And I'll put a link for his video down in the description. And he also has some great links to people that decided to go to the master's program after that, which is actually what I'm deciding to do. And anyways, he just, you know, reiterated that even if you have no knowledge of how to script or code or Unity or do anything gaming-wise, you still are able to learn that stuff at FullSail. And he submitted some links to Code Academy, which I'll also put in the description down below, and some great books to read that gave me a little bit of a leg up, more than others, when it came to scripting. And yeah, he just instilled me with the belief that I could do it too. So I said yes, and I started within the next month at FullSail University. The first 4 classes, of course, you got the core 4 classes, which is basically any class that you would find at a regular college or late high school years. English, math, you know, creative presentations, things like that. Very easy classes to get A's in, and re-engineer yourself into the college life if you're not used to that. And after that became the huge monster leap all the way to, you know, the ending line. FullSail, of course, you know, isn't perfect as any college is. It's got its discrepancies. You really do need to stick to researching your own facts about coding in C# and C++, using Unity, using Unreal Engine. Doing your own research, I cannot emphasize this enough, is absolutely necessary to get past the capstone months, which are the last 6 months of your degree line. I started in February, so the last 6 months of my degree line started after winter break, and went from January to June. Actually, I graduate in about 3 hours and 14 minutes. So that's when the final assignment is due. And here at the end of the video, I'm going to hit submit and call this bachelor's degree finito. And yeah, so the last capstone months are incredibly difficult to get through, especially right at the beginning, because they're expecting you to learn and retain all of the information that they gave you months and months and months ago about C#, using Unity and Unreal, using C++, whatever you name it, whatever you decide that you want to go to with your final game build. You have to make a series of action blocks and feature lists, build notes. It's helpful to make yourself some flowcharts and diagrams of what the actual gameplay is going to be like, make some blueprints. It'll make the entire level design process that much easier. And that's stuff that you'll learn in your previous classes about a year back from before you graduate. But they'll remind you to do your own research and go on YouTube, check out tutorials, go to unity.learn or learn.unity.com to check out their tutorials as well. And yeah, I mean, you do all these things to help you get to that capstone part so you can have that knowledge ready. If you don't do that, you're going to really struggle with the first 2 classes. I did, because I forgot to, and I just expected them to tell us, and they tell you at the beginning, and then they leave you to be an adult to make sure that you do it yourself. So just make sure that you keep up with Code Academy. Make sure you keep up with C# scripting, all of your tutorials. Become an expert with Unity before you get to the last 6 months of your capstone project, because I cannot emphasize this enough. They're going to expect you to retain and know all that stuff right as soon as you start that class. We had a lot of weeding out of people who were just there learning through the classes and not doing any extra work after that. And they paid for it. A lot of people did not pass those first 2 classes. And I think even I got like a C+ in that class, when I usually am like a straight A student, and brought my GPA down significantly. So make sure that you keep on keeping on with that Unity, C#, C++, and Unreal knowledge retainment. I cannot emphasize this enough. YouTube has done more for me in the last year than the entire degree line did with to help me get to, you know, that finish line. So but by the end of it, the last 6 months, you're working with an entire team. There are a couple of times in classes where you're working with the team, so you have to be able to learn how to talk to other people, how to flow with other people, get things done. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to speak to them like you would a family member, because you're going to need to have that influence and confidence in the real world after you get your degree as well. A part of game design is, you know, becoming a master of sorts with all things incorporated with game production. You're going to be not only working to help create games, you're going to be leading other teams and other people within those studios to do their job correctly and to do, you know, what is necessary to help everybody get to the finish line. So make sure you take those classes where you learn about leadership and connectivity and communication seriously, because that is a huge part of game design other than the actual implementation of video game features or analog features. You also have to make board games and card games and lots of different analog games in addition to the digital games that you're going to be creating at the end. Actually, the first half of your whole game design program is mostly oriented around analog games, and I cannot stand card games, but I had to make 2 or 3 of them myself, and I actually had to learn a lot about card games, more than I have in my entire life, just to understand the rules of how to make up rules and controls and features and things like that. Things that people look for that entertains them. So, yeah, I'm right here at the end of my FullSail experience. I'm going to take 6 months off after this. I've been saving up my money the last 2 years, and I'm selling my house right now. Actually, today was the first day that I had a couple people viewing my house, and once I sell it, I'm going to be getting a tiny house on wheels, and I'm going to be bringing that to Florida with my significant other, and me and my girlfriend are just going to have a blast living there while I'm getting my master's degree in game design. Because not only is getting a position as a game designer the equivalent of being a movie star, because everybody wants to be it, but few actually become it. But, you know, having a bachelor's degree definitely helps, but having a master's degree is definitely something to be recognized. So I want to make sure that I have all my legs up that I can to get the job that I desire. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to take 6 months off, and once I move to Florida, I'm going to start my 1 year of the Master's Degree program. I'm going to do nothing but concentrate on that, and perhaps maybe get an internship somewhere at like Walt Disney World or one of the other gaming companies that are located in Florida, hopefully, and go from there. Since we'll have a tiny house on wheels, we're going to be incredibly self-sufficient. We won't have any utilities. We're going to have solar system, rainwater collection system, compost toilet. I mean, you name it. I'm not going to have any utilities. I'm not going to have any debts other than the student debt. That's going to be more than enough to fill up my plate for a while now. So, yeah, I got my plate full for the next couple of months. Even though I'm graduating, I'm going to have a lot more time free. I'm going to be good to go. And I'm going to be busy for a while. So that's my plans after I graduate. And I'll keep making videos of, you know, my progress. I'm also going to be making a video game for my niece that she had an idea about. And that's going to be another thing to put on my resume once I get to the Master's Degree program. So I plan to have at least 2. Our first game, Pursuing the Void, is going to be available here on, you know, local game streaming websites that we find. I'll put in links to the description when that time does come. And yeah, it's a great 2.5D side-scroller. They absolutely hate that. Don't say that to the professors, by the way, at FullSail. They hate 2.5. They say it's 2D or 3D games. But it's a 2D side-scroller with 3D assets. And it's based off of the game Limbo that I actually really enjoyed. I shot off the idea to a lot of the team members, and we decided that that would be a really particularly smart idea as a reference game for our final capstone project, mostly just because we really struggled with the health feature of the player and, you know, the damage system. That's a lot of stuff to learn over a while, and we were particularly struggling with that at the time. So I thought we would make a game where the player learns through death and they just report back to their original position after they die. And Limbo had that type of learning through death feel, and it was a very slow, melancholic video game centered around a player searching for his friend or his sister through a woods filled with monstrous things. And we decided to do something of that nature. And it turned out to be a fantastic video game. Of course, you know, it's not perfect. There's a little bit of bugs here and there, but it's definitely playable, and it's definitely thoroughly enjoyable. We got it shining really nice right there at the end when we had the art people teaming up with us to make our player look significantly more impressive, as well as the environment. So here I am at the end, and I wanted to do this together with you guys and have you bear witness me clicking the final submit button on our project. So here we go. Final build, FSO. I'm on it, got the thing added. All I have to do is hit submit, and there it is. That's it. Good to go. That's all that I needed to do. That one click. So that's that. I'm officially going to graduate now. I don't want to sound too presumptuous, but all I needed was a 26% in order to pass our final class because we've been doing so good with this game. And I'm very confident that our final build of this game is going to get us a significantly high grade, because there are really not that many bugs, and it's definitely an enjoyable and polished game. So, yeah, I can't wait to check it out. I'll also send you guys a link to the trailer of our video game, Pursuing the Void. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And more will be coming here in the near future. Good luck, Godspeed, and I'll see you guys another time.